That sound isn't a coffee shop. It is the sound of a broken factory. Starbucks is currently fighting a war against physics. Their new CEO thinks he can save the company by bringing back ceramic mags and Sharpies. He thinks culture can fix a manufacturing crisis. He is wrong. You cannot fix a broken assembly line by smiling more. Today, we are going to dismantle the hybrid trap that is killing the biggest brand on earth. First, I will show you the invisible queue, the digital mechanism that accidentally broke their stores. Second, we'll look at the honest factory competitor that grew 35% by doing exactly the opposite. And finally, I will show you the great bifurcation, the only survival strategy left for savvy businesses in 2026. Let's look at the map. Most retail experts will tell you that the enemy of customer satisfaction is a long line. If the line is out the door, you are losing money. But the insider data from Q4 2024 proved the opposite. The empty store with a long wait is exponentially worse than a visible line. You need to understand why Starbucks traffic is down 10%. We have to look at the digital flywheel. For a decade, this was the darling of Wall Street. It was the envy of the entire tech world. Starbucks aggressively pushed mobile order and pay until it hit 30% of all US transactions. It seemed perfect. It captured data. It increased in frequency. It gamified addiction. But this success created a ghost queue. And this is where the third place myth collapsed. You remember the original promise, right? Home is your first place, work is your second, and Starbucks was supposed to be the third place, a century between the two. A spot to pause, meet a friend, or just breathe. It was a beautiful idea. But you can build a sanctuary on top of a server room. When half of your orders are digital ghosts, the third place stops being a community hub and starts feeling like a chaotic waiting room. This violates Mr. First Law of Service. David Maister, the psychology researcher, famously proved that occupied time feels shorter than unoccupied time. But more importantly, unexplained waits feel longer than the explained waits. When you stand in a physical line, you are occupied by the act of moving forward. You see the barista working, you see the progress, the wait is explained by the bodies in front of you. But the digital flywheel erases the bodies. Now, you walk into an empty store. You see no line, you expect fast service, but you end up standing there for 20 minutes because the printer is screaming with invisible orders from people who ain't even in the building. The wait is unexplained. It feels unfair. It feels like the system is broken. And that feeling turns into rage. You can put all the ceramic mags you want in that lobby. You can put comfortable leather chairs in the corner. But if the customer feels ignored by a ghost queue, the ceramic mag is just a paperweight. You cannot have both. Here is another interesting part, and it's not just the wait time. It's who is stealing the customers. Starbucks is currently trapped in the deadly middle crossfire session. On the value side, you have McDonald's and Dunkin'. They are faster, they are cheaper, and their coffee is good enough for the morning commute. If you just want caffeine and sugar, you go there. On the quality side, you have the third wave shops, Blue Bottle, Intelligentsia, the local hipster cafe. They offer better beans, better art, and actual hospitality. If you want an experience, you go there. So who goes to Starbucks? People who want premium but get factory, people who pay $7 for a latte but get treated like a number. This middle ground is the most dangerous place to be in business. It is too expensive to be fast food, but too automated to be luxury. While Starbucks was apologizing for a 7% drop in global sales, a smaller, louder competitor called Dutch Bros was boasting a 35% increase in revenue. In a recession, this shouldn't exist. So, what did Dutch Bros do? Did they buy nicer chair or did they hire jazz bands? Actually, no. They utilize what we call the honest factory strategy. Dutch Bros look at the market and realize the truth. Americans don't actually want a cafe. They want a sugar delivery system and they want it fast. They strip away the pretense. Their stores are tiny, often just 800 square feet. There is no seating, there is no Wi-Fi, there is no third place. It is a drive-through optimized machine. This brings us to the toolkit of the crisis literally. Starbucks is currently trying to fight this war using historical tools. The manual espresso machine, the handwritten cap, the conversation across the counter. These tools were designed for a world where coffee meant a hot latte and a muffin. In the modern equivalent, the tool Dutch Bro uses natively and Starbucks is scrambling to build is the Siren system. This is an automated cold beverage manufacturing line that dispenses ice, milk, and syrup in precise measurements in seconds. It removes the art from the barista and replaces it with the efficiency of a robot. Dutch bros admitted they are the factory, so they optimize for it. Starbucks refuses to admit that they are a factory, so they have human baristas trying to compete with machines. And this identity crisis has a human casualty, which is the workforce. This is why we are seeing a historic rise in unionization efforts across Starbucks. It's not just about wages, it's about the role mismatch. These employees sign up to be baristas. They wanted to craft drinks, smell the coffee, and talk to regulars, but the app turned them into factory workers. They are chained to a sticker printer, measuring pumps of syrup for mobile orders they never see. When you hire an artist but force them to work an assembly line, you get burnout, you get resentment, and eventually you get a rebellion. But why is the line so slow? This brings us to the most dangerous metric in the ecosystem, the cost of yes. Starbucks built its modern revenue model on infinite customizations. You can change the milk, the foam, the syrup, the temperature, and the ice level. There are mathematically over 170,000 possible combinations for a single beverage. This drives revenue. A $5 cup latte becomes a $9 latte with modifiers. But this creates a customization tax. In manufacturing theory, this is known as long-tail latency. Every unique variable you add to an assembly line doesn't just add linear time. It adds exponential complexity. You see, if a barista makes 10 standard lattes, they can batch the milk. They can work in a rhythm. But if order number 1 is oat milk, order number 2 is almond milk, and order number 3 is cold foam, the rhythm dies. The barista has to stop, rinse, reset, and rebuild for every single cup. Starbucks is trying to build custom Ferraris at the speed of Toyota Camrys. You see, physics simply doesn't work like that. So, what do you think is the end game? If the third place is dead, the factory is ugly, where do we all go? We are entering a phase I call the Great Bifurcation. The era of the middle ground is over. The store that tries to be kind of fast and kind of cozy will go extinct. We predict that by 2027, Starbucks will be forced to physically split its real estate portfolio into two distinct species. Species A, the pickup pot. This is a pure factory. No seat, no cashiers, no Sharpies. You cannot order in the store. You order on your phone, you walk up to the wall of lockers, you scan a code, and a door opens with your drink. The siren system is fully deployed here. It is utilitarian, it is a vending machine, it competes with Dutch bros on speed. And if that still isn't fast enough, Starbucks' next move is obvious. Cut the store out entirely and sell the drink in a can, because the purest factory doesn't even need a barista. And this isn't a guess, the proof is already in China. Look at Luckin Coffee. Luckin didn't just compete with Starbucks, they chased them out of the market. While Starbucks was building expensive lounge, Luckin built 20,000 tiny pickup pods. No cashiers, no cash, app only. They treat their coffee like software. And just like local EVs are squeezing Tesla on price, Luckin's honest factory squeezed the life out of Starbucks' hybrid model. This is the undeniable proof. In the war of efficiency, the ruthless factory always wins. Species B, the reverse lounge. This is the only way to save the third place. But here's the catch, no mobile orders. If you want to come here, you have to sit down. You pay a premium price, $12 for a coffee, not $6. You get a ceramic cup, you get a conversation. It optimized for intimacy, not throughput. This is the future of all retail. You are either a vending machine, which means speed, or a destination, which is experience. If you try to be both, you are just another waiting room. Now, let's steal this bifurcation hack for your industry. Imagine applying this to service businesses. We see this failing in banking right now. You have a millionaire investor waiting in line behind a guy trying to cash a $5 check. Both are annoyed. The derivative opportunity is those ghost branches. Stop building hybrid banks. Build kiosk-only station for transactions. And build advisory lounge that are appointment-only, high-tech, and have zero teller windows. Separate the transaction from the relationship. Now, it is the time for strategic truth. There is a universal law of business hiding in this coffee cup. You cannot optimize for efficiency and intimacy in the same square footage. They are opposing forces. Efficiency requires standardization. Intimacy requires variability. When you try to jam them together, you don't get the best of both worlds. You get the worst. You get a factory that is too slow and a lounge that is too loud. Here is the perspective shift. So the next time you walk into a Starbucks or a bank or a gym or even your own office, I want you to put on a new lens. Ask yourself, is this room designed to be a library or is it designed to be a factory? Look at the furniture, look at the workflow, look at the faces of the staff. If you see a factory trying to act like a library, you are looking at a business model in decline. Pick a lane, be the best factory on earth or be the most beautiful library on earth. Just don't build a waiting room. Because Starbucks' struggle isn't unique. They were squeezed by faster factories like Dutch Bros. They were out-engineered by system-native players like Luckin. And in China, they didn't just lose customers, they lost power. Luckin's rise didn't just threaten Starbucks' market share. It showed how quickly a global brand can be replaced once local innovators master the system. The same thing happened in cars. BYD didn't just compete with Tesla, they learned faster, and Tesla didn't see it coming. The real story of how China helped Tesla grow, then surprise it with its own innovator, is the next level. The story is already unfolding, and once you see it, you will never look at Tesla the same way again. Let's keep exploring how businesses really work. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. If not, no worries. Enjoy your $12 coffee, stay intelligent, and for the love of caffeine, stay insightful.